Hello my friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a couple of my favorite recipes that are fully homemade with like different kind of herbs and spices, which you can obviously change up depending on your taste preferences. Now I'm all for those convenience, grab off the shelf kind of foods because all of our lives seem to be fairly busy at the moment, and realistically it's better to have something on your dinner plate than nothing at all. So I'm all for convenience type options to have in the cupboard for when you don't have much time, but I'm here to show you guys how to make something that's really quick, really convenient, but full of good quality ingredients for you and your family. Today I'm going to be first making some meatballs, and then secondly I'm going to be making some homemade baked beans. So with the meatballs, you can literally have them on a barbie and have them with like some salad in the summertime in a nice kind of evenings. Put them into spaghetti bolognese, which is what I'm going to be making for my husband for dinner tonight. So that's going to be in a really nice like tomato-based pasta sauce with some protein pasta. You can also make these depending on the flavors you use, of course. If you add in like Italian spices, you can always add them in things like, you know, spaghetti bolognese. If you add in some Greek spices, then you can always have them with like salad and some dips and some pita bread and have more like a Greek Mediterranean kind of spread. That would be amazing. You can either fry these off or just bake them in the oven. You can make them beforehand and then cook them later. So versatile, they can be literally added into any of your meals for the week. So why not make a big batch of these meatballs? I've got some minced beef, I've got some breadcrumbs. Now I've actually just blended up some of my sourdough bread. So I make my own sourdough bread and I love it. Put it in the freezer and then I can just blend it up whenever I need breadcrumbs. Sourdough just has so many good properties in there for us, so that's why I love it. But you can just use normal breadcrumbs as well, so don't fret if you don't have any sourdough on hand. Even if you are gluten-free, you can just have like gluten-free bread ground up or gluten-free breadcrumbs. Most supermarkets have those as an option now as well, which is handy. Diced onion, I've got a fair few different herbs and spices. I'll put in the description box which ones I'm using so that you can copy mine or just use whatever you have in the cupboard. I'm also using some garlic and egg and some parmesan. Parmesan is a secret ingredient in my meatballs that just takes them to a whole nother level. So literally all I'm going to do is mix all these ingredients together. I don't know if you can hear very well, but I've got some beans simmering in the background because I'm actually going to be using dried legumes for the baked beans, which I'm super excited about. But obviously, if you want something faster and easier, you can just use tin beans. So I'll put both options in the description box. Looking good. While these meatballs are in the oven, I'm gonna whack together all the ingredients for the baked beans. So I'm gonna be using my Greek seasoning, which I actually put a video of this on my YouTube. So I'll put a link in the description box. Make sure you go check out the reel on my Instagram for this Greek seasoning mix because it's so good. Usually most spice mixes, like store-bought from the supermarket or whatever, they just filled with so many different ingredients, heaps of like sugars and filler kind of ingredients, things that I just don't really want to eat. Again, I still have store-bought ones in the cupboard to use when I'm out of other stuff, but they're more like a last resort. So I love to have things like homemade as much as possible. I've also got my homemade veggie stock paste as well, which I'm going to be mixing with water to add in here. If you prefer just to use any sort of store-bought stock or any stock that you've made, definitely go ahead. I'm going to be putting the ratios in the description box, so you'll be able to use what you have on hand at home. But if you do want to make this veggie stock paste, it's in my last video, so I'll link that video in the description box as well. Then we've also got some onion and some sort of sweetener, and I've also got some tomato paste as well. When all this is cooked up and simmered for a while, I'm actually going to be adding in some corn flour and some lemon juice just to thicken it up a little bit and give it like a little tiny bit of a tang. So I'll add those ingredients later. It's up to you. A lot of recipes don't say to fry the onion. I don't really like the raw onion kind of taste, and even when it's been simmering with the rest of the ingredients for like the 20 minutes, I still don't think it's cooked enough for my liking. So I'm actually going to fry this up a little bit first, but again, that's just optional for you. Since it's only a little bit, I'm literally just going to use a little tiny saucepan, chuck a little bit of olive oil or butter in there and fry that up on the stove. So you can use any bean mix for this baked beans. You can use any type of bean. I would recommend a some sort of white bean or a navy bean. So I'm just gonna drain those out, add them to the slow cooker. So I'm gonna actually head off for a run while this is cooking. So usually I would put this on the stovetop and cook it for about 20 to 30 minutes, just simmer it and stir it every now and then. I'm not gonna be at home, and so I would rather literally just like chuck it all in my slow cooker. And I reckon maybe after about 4 hours in the slow cooker, like maybe 3 to 4 hours, I reckon it'll totally be done. So by the time I get home, they'll be ready to divide up in my servings to be able to add to my meals for this week. I accidentally burned it a little bit. I'm gonna mix this around and then chuck it in the slow cooker. Thank you so much for watching this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you're saving these recipes to use for you and your family for meal prep, and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel because I'm posting literally weekly health and fitness content that you can easily incorporate into your busy life. Because I can't see our lives getting any quieter or slower anytime soon, so we may as well try and find little tiny swaps and create little habits to help us to still be our healthiest and happiest self, even amongst the rush and the hurry. Also, please let me know if you make these recipes. I would love to hear from you, but I will see you soon. Bye.